When working in 3D, it's often not the super clean looking images that are difficult, but it's the grungy, dirty ones. And here we have a situation where I want to create this chunk, this block of crushed garbage. And it's a pretty interesting challenge because you don't want to get buried in 2 weeks of modeling each piece of garbage. That's just pure madness. So you've got to think creatively how to make Cinema 4D work for you. So let's deconstruct how this was created. We'll first go to Photoshop, and that's where we actually began. Here we have a piece of an engine, actually a piece of some kind of historic engine that's on display at the Rocket Garden at the NASA Visitor Center in Florida. And we have 3 layers here. The first layer is just a color layer, which I've messed with the levels and got it to my version of pretty. And then we have this next layer, which is grayscale, and I've adjusted the levels to really create some very harsh contrast. And then we have an extreme contrast version just to create the specular highlights. And the neat thing about working like this is that we're going to be using layers in our materials in Cinema 4D from a Photoshop file, which means that anytime we want to make adjustment to the layers external to Cinema 4D, we're just working within a layer file in Photoshop, so we have the ability to keep everything fully aligned and contained. So let's go back to Cinema 4D now. And so in Cinema 4D, what we have is a cube, and this cube is just subdivided a few times, about 10 times in every axis, and it's on a floor with one light casting a soft shadow. The material is where all the magic is at, and in this material, on the color channel, we have loaded in the engine.psd file found in the exercise files folder, and if we click onto this, we will see that not only can we see the image, but we have this option called Layer Set. We click on Layer Set and it gives us this additional pop-up where you can see those 3 layers from Photoshop: color, bump, specular. Now, of course, that's not channel names per se in Cinema 4D. I named these color, bump, and specular in Photoshop. So it could be Tom, Dick, and Harry. Doesn't make a difference. Now, I also have Show Layer Content on because by default when you come in, it'll be like this, and you might be like, what? So just click on Show Layer Content, and then you can actually see those different layers as you click on them, so you can know which one you're really working with. So the one you see here is the one being applied to this channel of the Cinema 4D material. So now we'll come out of here, and we're applying it also to the specular color. And so this one is using the specular image. And in displacement, I'm using the one that I call bump. Now, on the displacement channel, we are doing some work. We also turn on sub-polygon displacement to get those nice little fine displacements and our subdivision levels all the way up to 6. Being as it's only a single object, it's not, so challenging. It's not so bad. We have the strength set to -100 because going to +100 had all those parts that are crevices coming out like some inverted peaks. They really seem a bit ugly, so I just took it to -100. Height of 8, and that's about it. And so this is applied to our cube, and I've done nothing else. It's no fancy footwork, no hand behind the curtains. It's really a very simplistic setup. The result is nice and grungy. It really looks like this is something from a garbage yard where a crusher has just mashed a bunch of engineering equipment together. So hopefully this gives you some clues as to how you can create some grungy images or objects in Cinema 4D, as well as how you can make use of the Photoshop layers when you're creating your materials for your projects.